The 1979 United States Quarter Dollar History, Context, and Legacy. The 1979 quarter dollar of the United States is part of one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, the Washington Quarter. Though at first glance it may seem like an ordinary coin, the 1979 quarter sits within a rich historical tradition that reflects American art, politics, economics, and culture. To understand the 1979 quarter fully, one must examine the origins of the Washington Quarter series. The design elements, minting process, historical context of the late 1970s, production numbers, varieties, and its place in modern numismatics. Origins of the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Prior to 1932, the quarter featured the Standing Liberty design created by sculptor Herman A. McNeil, which had been in circulation since 1916. In 1931, Congress authorized a new coin to honor Washington's bicentennial. Although the original plan was for a one-year commemorative issue, the design proved so popular that it permanently replaced the Standing Liberty quarter in 1934. The winning design came from sculptor John Flanagan. His portrait of George Washington was based on a bust sculpted by French artist Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1786. This portrait became one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. From 1932 onward, the Washington Quarter remained largely unchanged in design for decades, including during the year 1979. Design of the 1979 quarter. The 1979 quarter retains the classic Washington design introduced in 1932. Obverse. Front. The obverse features a left-facing profile of George Washington. Above his head appears the word Liberty. Below the portrait is the motto, "In God We Trust." The year 1979 appears at the bottom. Flanagan's depiction of Washington is formal, dignified, and neoclassical in style. The clean lines and balanced composition reflect early 20th century American coin design aesthetics. Reverse. Back. The reverse features a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle clutches a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing military readiness and strength. Beneath the arrows are olive branches, representing peace. Above the eagle is the motto, E Pluribus Unum. Surrounding the design are the words United States of America and quarter dollar. This eagle reverse was used from 1932 until 1998, when it was replaced by the 50-state quarters program. Composition and specifications. The 1979 quarter was struck in a copper-nickel clad composition introduced in 1965. Prior to that year, quarters were made of 90% silver. By 1979, the composition consisted of outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Core, 100% copper. Weight, 5.67 grams. Diameter, 24.3 millimeters. Edge, reeded, 119 reeds. The shift from silver to clad coinage occurred in 1965 due to rising silver prices and coin shortages. By 1979, the public was fully accustomed to clad coins. Minting locations in 1979. In 1979, quarters were struck at 3 United States Mint facilities. United States Mint, Philadelphia, no mint mark. United States Mint, Denver, D mint mark. United States Mint, San Francisco, S mint mark, proof coins. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1979. These coins do not carry a mint mark, as was standard practice at the time. Denver Mint, D. The Denver Mint also produced a large quantity of circulation strike quarters. These coins have a small D mint mark located to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse. San Francisco Mint, S proof only. The San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins for collectors. Proof coins are specially made using polished dies and planchets, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and frosted design details. 1979 S-proof quarters were not intended for general circulation, but were included in annual proof sets sold to collectors. Historical context of 1979 America. To understand the 1979 quarter's place in history, it is important to consider the broader context of the United States in that year. In 1979, the President of the United States was Jimmy Carter. The country was facing economic challenges, including high inflation, rising oil prices, and energy shortages. The late 1970s were marked by what economists later described as stagflation, a combination of slow economic growth and high inflation. Major events of 1979 included: the Iran hostage crisis began in November. The 3 Mile Island nuclear accident occurred in March. The energy crisis led to long lines at gas stations. Despite these challenges, everyday commerce continued, and the quarter remained one of the most commonly used coins in American transactions. Vending machines, laundromats, public telephones, parking meters, and arcades relied heavily on quarters. The 1979 quarter circulated widely during this era of economic and social tension. Production numbers. While exact mintages vary slightly depending on source records, production numbers for 1,979 quarters were substantial. Approximate mintages: 1979, Philadelphia, over 500 million. 1979 D, Denver, over 480 million. 1979 S-proof, several million proof coins. These large mintages mean that 1979 quarters are common today. They are not considered rare in circulated condition. Proof coin details. Proof coins differ from circulation coins in several ways. Struck multiple times for sharper detail. Polished dies. Mirror-like background. Sold in protective packaging. The 1979 S-proof quarter was sold as part of the 1979 proof set. Collectors often preserve these coins in original packaging, making high-grade examples readily available. Some proof coins from the late 1970s exhibit deep cameo contrast, where the raised design elements appear frosted against mirror fields. Errors and varieties. Like many mass-produced coins, the 1979 quarter has some known mint errors and varieties. These include off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, weak strikes. However, there are no major widely recognized dramatic varieties for the 1979 quarter comparable to famous error coins from other years. Minor double dies may exist, but they are not particularly rare or valuable compared to other famous double die coins in U.S. numismatics. Collectability and value. In circulated condition, most 1979 quarters are worth face value, 25 cents. Uncirculated examples may be worth slightly more, typically between $1 and $5 depending on condition and grading. Proof coins generally sell for a few dollars, unless an exceptionally high grade. The coin's value depends largely on condition. MS-63, modest premium. MS-65 and above, higher premium. Proof PR-69 or PR-70, higher collector interest. Professional grading services may assign grades based on luster, strike quality, and absence of marks. The quarter's role in daily American life. The quarter has long held a unique place in American society. In 1979, arcade games often cost 25 cents per play. Public payphones frequently required a quarter. The quarter's role in daily American life. The quarter has long held a unique place in American society. In 1979, arcade games often cost 25 cents per play. Public payphones frequently required a quarter. Laundry machines commonly operated with quarters. Parking meters relied on quarters. Thus, The 1979 quarter was deeply integrated into daily American routines. Children collected them in piggy banks, adults used them in commerce, businesses relied on them for small transactions. Artistic significance. John Flanagan's design endured for more than 6 decades before being replaced in 1999 by the State Quarters program. The longevity of the Washington Quarter design demonstrates its artistic and symbolic strength. The eagle reverse symbolizes American strength and independence. The portrait of Washington represents leadership and national unity. The 1979 quarter is part of this long artistic lineage. Transition to modern quarter programs. Although the 1979 quarter used the traditional eagle reverse, major changes were coming 2 decades later. In 1999, the United States Mint introduced the 50 State Quarters program, replacing the eagle design with rotating state-themed reverses. Later programs included District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters, America, the Beautiful Quarters, American Women Quarters. Thus, the 1979 quarter represents part of the classic era of Washington quarters, before the commemorative programs began. Economic inflation and purchasing power. In 1979, 25 cents had greater purchasing power than it does today. Adjusted for inflation, a quarter in 1979 would be worth roughly around $1 or more in today's money, depending on inflation calculations. This reflects how economic conditions change over time, while coin designs remain stable. Metal content and intrinsic value. Because the 1979 quarter contains no silver, its intrinsic metal value is generally lower than face value. Unlike pre-1965 silver quarters, which contain 0.18084 troy ounces of silver, the clad quarter's value depends solely on its status as legal tender. Comparison with earlier silver quarters. Before 1965, Washington quarters were composed of 90% silver. The silver content made older quarters heavier in intrinsic value. By contrast, the 1979 quarter reflects the modern era of base metal coinage. Collectors often distinguish between 1932 to 1964, silver era, 1965 to 1998, clad eagle reverse era. The 1979 quarter belongs firmly within the clad era. Preservation and grading. Coins from 1979 can still be found in circulation today. However, high-grade uncirculated examples are typically obtained from original mint rolls or proof sets. Collectors evaluate. Surface marks. Luster. Strike sharpness. Appeal. Third-party grading companies encapsulate coins in protective holders and assign numeric grades. Cultural reflection of the late 1970s. The late 1970s were a time of transition in American culture. Music genres like disco were popular. Technology was evolving. Personal computers were emerging. The Cold War remained ongoing. Throughout these changes, the Washington quarter remained a constant element of daily life. It served as a tangible reminder of the country's founding heritage during a time of modern uncertainty. Legacy of the 1979 quarter. Although not rare or especially valuable, the 1979 quarter represents continuity of American coin design, economic history of the late 1970s, the enduring legacy of George Washington, the era before the commemorative quarter revolution. It stands as part of a long, uninterrupted design series that lasted from 1932 to 1998. For collectors, it is a foundational piece in completing a Washington quarter date set. For historians, it is a small but meaningful artifact of 1979 America. For everyday citizens, it was simply change in their pocket, but change that carried national symbolism. Conclusion. The 1979 United States quarter dollar may appear ordinary, yet it carries decades of history within its design. Rooted in the bicentennial celebration of George Washington's birth, created by sculptor John Flanagan, and struck during the presidency of Jimmy Carter, the coin reflects both artistic tradition and historical circumstance. Its copper-nickel composition marks the modern era of American coinage. Its high mintage reflects economic demand. Its everyday use reflects its central role in American commerce. Though common and often overlooked, the 1979 quarter remains a meaningful piece of American numismatic heritage, a small, durable symbol of a nation's identity carried in the hands of millions.